Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Dual Destinies. Previously, the power of friendship bracelets and delicious chicken wings. This time around, Professor Aristotle Means has been dragged onto the witness stand because suspicion has fallen upon him. He was not actually in the, where he should have been, on the platform? What's the term for it? It's right here. Faculty seat? Yeah, I guess that'll work. Like a balcony, that's it. He said he was delivering a speech, but he actually wasn't. That speech was pre-recorded, and we were able to prove that because that speech lasted exactly 10 minutes 35 seconds, and we found exactly 10 minutes and 35 seconds of garbled, scrubbed-over audio, which was used, in fact, to try and frame Juniper Woods. So now Means is coming at us with another attempt at covering his own tracks. So let's get into this.
The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret.
Hold it!
I doubt our client would have come to you with something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead.
So, our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead?
Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I, too, was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly.
Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it?
It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court.
Hold it!
Did you consider that a threat?
Yes, but it's now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Cykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper.
What?
Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And, perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character.
Very well, objection sustained.
Wow. That doesn't happen often. Cool.
So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording.
Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder and that she hadn't meant to threaten me.
Really? Please do explain.
Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings.
Does the witness realize what he is saying?
Surely you must see the true meaning in my words. I am merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh, wow. His way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words.
It is a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do.
Hold it!
You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie.
What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I've nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I am protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student.
Liar! You're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking?
You cannot possibly overturn my claims, so isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is?
If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm gonna find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. Right. There was one statement that did jump out at me. When I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it, because it's the humane thing to do. I don't think he wanted to protect Juniper, after all. You gave it to Hugh O'Connor, this tape recorder. You were there in what's it called? The place at the jail where you can talk to someone? You were right there in the conversation. You heard that this was faked, this audio. Might be, and you were like, alright, I'll take this, we'll get it to the police, we'll clear Juniper's name. But then you went and gave it to Hugh O'Connor, who, as we clearly established, had tons of very other motives. Yeah. This definitely jumps out at me, but I'm not, 100% sure this is what I want to do right now. Oops. Right, the defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. Well, I know we have nothing to disprove that. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. An obvious lie, but we have no evidence. If we did, this would be over already. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. Ditto. That's just hearsay. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. Was Means doing anything else? Constance didn't leave behind any notes regarding what came after the mock trial, so... yeah, there's definitely nothing about what Means is supposed to be doing. Yeah, I think the tape is the right way to go here. When I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it.
Hold it!
Oh, whoops. That's the completely wrong thing. Yeah, I'm gonna show the tape recorder on this one. I think I have a good idea here. I'd be very surprised, in fact, if this was wrong.
Objection!
There we go. So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods? Huh, that's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. No offense, reader. I'm right here.
Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. It is an outrage. Your hair follicles.
Miss Cykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it."
There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise, involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself with while blaming others. Another. Yeah. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law.
Why, you little... You dare call my teachings and methods lies?
Uh-oh. Oh no. The statue has a crack in it. But why the mohawk?
Themis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. Never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Huh? Professor Means? What's with your hair?
Quiet, no talking in class.
Ow! Oh my god, his handwriting's incredible.
Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Cykes.
Huh? Oh, here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. I hear.
Fool! The proper response is here without any extraneous information.
Ouch! Here.
Next, Your Honor.
Here?
See, class, that's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackquill. I said Simon Blackquill. Are you here or not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now get out of my class this instant.
Get out? Very well, that is your wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher?
Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackquill is free of his shackles.
It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. But is that really so shocking? Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Foolbright.
Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian.
This is incredible.
Alright, class is now in session.
Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache?
Pay attention, I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on...
Oh, I get it. It's a centurion's helm. I get the mohawk. It's like a centurion's helm. With the plume. Yeah, alright. Now it makes sense. He's gone to war.
This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time. So how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
Professor Means, can you really prove you hadn't already gone home by that time?
Can you prove that I was still at school?
No, I can't.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you have also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Yow! I do enough of that at the office. Gustav? Oh. No way, man! I totally object! Robin? I can't believe I fell for the Professor's silver-tongued lies.
Why, you... How dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Now, I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself! The statues on stage? Do I want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before we could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
The professor told me, I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd make both statues myself. Oh, I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin.
Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, your head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Yeah! And who's in charge of the class pet around here?
Oh, that's cute. Not interested. If you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do.
No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Yeah! Nurse! Nurse! Where's a school nurse when you need one?
It would seem Cykes Dono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning, like Zeus.
Very well, then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style.
What does that... Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please.
Alright. Will this be on the test?
Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m.
Does that line up with the screenshot? 6 p.m. on the 23rd? I mean, that does show the Clavier statue being completed. Which means most of the other statue between 7 and 8 p.m. It looks like you're already done by 6. He's off, but in a way that's even better for his story. The hell? Odd.
The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder?
You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues?
Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now.
That evening, I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large, and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So, personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short time. Oh, that didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means.
Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue.
Hold it!
Miss Newman took over half a day? Can you please be a little more precise than that?
What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see.
Oh, I had it backwards. That's right. Alright, I did have it backwards. Alright. So, yeah, it wasn't... The Clavier statue was not made by Professor Means. Robin had already finished it. And Robin got to work on the second statue. Professor Means came to talk to her. And this may very well be when Robin asked him to finish the statue for her. Alright.
Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening.
Well, it is a rather large statue after all.
Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m.
Hold it!
Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean?
Robin created the basic outline of a Mr. Right statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it.
I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you? That's not what he's on trial for.
Why, you insolent little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago.
Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. Oh, quiet you.
Now do you understand? I did not have that stage and leave that stage until I was done.
Well, Miss Cykes, do you accept the witness's claim?
Ah, shoot. Alright. I'm not sure we have the right evidence for this, so I'll accept it for now. I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. Oh, I guess I concede.
I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
Concede that Professor Means never left the stage.
That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I mean... I'm not gonna give up here.
I'm afraid I have to side with a witness, Miss Cykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet.
Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors.
Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to... I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there.
I was gonna say... there was an arrow lodged in the corpse's body, but... there would be a missing link between standing on the stage, shooting an arrow through the window to kill Professor Court, and then reeling her body out with a crank on the ropes. Never mind bundling her up in the flag, the banner. There's a missing link there. But maybe a little blackmail on Hugh O'Connor. What if Hugh was forced to be an accomplice? Come to the room, put the body in the banner bundle, and leave. We still don't know how he injured his hand, do we? But I don't know how he could have in that situation. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. Who brought the bird to school?
Cykes, Dono. If I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We are totally wrong about the murder weapon? They say the awl is the murder weapon, but if it was an arrow instead? The arrow has yet to be brought up. I think I'm onto something here. I mean... the awl could have been just used to doctor the scene a bit, but I'm still stumped onto how a potential accomplice Hugh O'Connor could have wounded his hand. I think we're wrong about the murder weapon. What if we got the murder weapon wrong?
Really now? And what do you intend to label the murder weapon then?
Huh?
Perhaps you bludgeoned the victim to death with your duller-than-dull thinking.
I'll give you a choice this time. Either change your thinking or suffer a penalty.
But I know we got something wrong, so I guess I'll have the penalty. Wait, he asked me what the murder weapon was. I couldn't say it was the arrow? Really? Shit, alright. If I accept the premise that the professor was on stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Alright, I guess if a killer shoots a projectile weapon, the place he'd be at would be the crime scene as well, so... The crime scene. If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer.
Ridiculous. The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Oh. Killed on the stage. Put into a banner bundle. Then later wheeled up to the art room and put in there. And the evidence burned. Huh. Continue, Cykes don't know. Okay, the murder was actually committed here. The stage.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all.
Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage. Really? But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained. The school banner.
Take that!
It's true there were no bloodstains on the stage floor, but there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed.
Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. And only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by a wire makes more sense than not.
Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what.
Uh-huh.
This is what soaked up the most of the victim's blood.
It was right there. It's so obvious.
Take that!
Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the governor's banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have little blood on it.
So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The governor's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality.
Simon, don't just stand there, do something.
Silence!
Cykes, Dono, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room. We don't have anything specific for the winch, but... Do I show the photo? I think we show the photo.
Take that!
The killer could have used this to transport the victim's blood.
You don't say. Care to explain how that would be possible?
Your Honor, nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it. Besides, all you need is...
Far-fetched arguments like that have no place in a court of law.
Well, it was worth a try.
No, it wasn't.
Alright. I guess it really wasn't. Alright. I guess we'll just show the burnt fragments.
Take that!
To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked governor's banner to the art room. Then, the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Whoa! Order, order. This is quite the development. To think the body was never actually moved.
Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. Uh-huh. The white statue. This also explains why the golden statue was placed in the lecture hall. Yep, they're in the art room, then found on the stage.
Take that!
Oh, that statue.
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence!
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner?
Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why. but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If you consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to...
point us to the body. After all, the loud crash was what summoned us there. Yes, it was important for the body to be found while all this was going on.
Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking this trial seriously. Well done.
You should never underestimate me, Athena Cykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means.
Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time?
That can be explained by, Oh! If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp. I know. We've come so far.
Yeah, consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been and it always will be.
Oh, just wait a minute.
Poor Juniper. She must seriously to regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco.
Got her there. Damn.
Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer.
Ah! Ow, that cut to the bone. Flashback.
But if this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain?
Well, I'll just have to make sure that doesn't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Oh. Uh-oh. Athena, what's wrong? Wow, these are a lot of new animations. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Relax, Athena, breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoing and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Athena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie? I know you better than most people, Athena, and I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie, but I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleating this instant. You look an utter fool. Prosecutor Blackwell? There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Oh. Oh. Do I take that to mean that Athena became a lawyer specifically to maybe clear one person's name? And Blackwell knows about this? Huh. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. Who?
You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the ends justifies the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But, Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now, let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Cykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. Hell yeah. Oh, this is hype as fuck. Alright. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could remove the body from its hiding place is during the mock trial. It was during the mock trial specifically. Oh. Yeah, while Junie wasn't there. The whole point was to get her to be the accused, right? It had to be that. Oh. No, Junie was in charge of the audio, so she would have left the lecture hall many times. Oh, here I was considering the audio room to be part of the lecture hall. My bad. There's no way to know which of those times to focus on. There's got to be some other way to pinpoint the timing of the professor's actions. During the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long, pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before. Specifically, the white statue. That's gotta be it. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down to the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide a body on the stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there. Did he hide her in a statue? In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. What was already on the stage and capable of concealing a body? The right statue. He was the one in charge of making it. It was Robin left it to him. Oh, I know. The Mr. Right statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Oh, that makes way more sense. All right. Yeah. Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night.
Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court.
Come again. I'm afraid I don't follow.
He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Right. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth that looked just like a statue.
What?
I second the what?
Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous.
How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo, time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm going to pose like this statue, like so, and now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth?
I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice.
Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue of Mr. Right, or what? Looks like some random person to me. Weren't the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright was that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair. The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it. The hands. Oh, alright. What the hell? Her arms are raised over her head and there are dark bruises around her her wrists. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrists indicated she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No. Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Moving on. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Behind my head. I feel like that's most natural. Apollo, tie both of my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. You're kidding me! Oh, that's amazing. Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. That's where the arrow comes in. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. Huh. I can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What did the victim's body have that I don't? The arrow.
Take that!
Oh right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What are you, crazy? Fine, then go get some duct tape. Rapido, schnell! Alright. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. Meanwhile, Black Girl's having the time of his life. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now, cover me with a cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? Mommy, the arm's too short. Shush, remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could we use for the arm?
Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination.
Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Oh shit. Yikes. Guess I'd better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please be in this photo. It just has to be. The arm on the Mr. Right statue is really this right here. Uh-huh. I want to say one of these wooden little beams, but, how long is the staff? Does it go to the ground? Is that staff as tall as a person, or...? Okay, no, wait, no! Wrong button! No! Wrong button! No! No, dude. And it was on, like, nothing. No! No, not like this! Sacre bleu. Something longer than an arrow that pierced her body. It must be here somewhere. What could it be? Alright. Longer that pierced her body. It's gotta be the staff.
Take that!
Got it! I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Wright.
This is absurd. There is no such thing in this photo.
Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there.
Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior.
Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright. Look, it's that famous lawyer. That's definitely him. I know that pose anywhere. We did it. Didn't we? Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light? Golden light? All I see before me is the pink specter of a man. That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Oh. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink. Oh. Oh, that joke deserves a pink slip. Oh.
It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness?
Bah, the resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is... test the spear for blood. There would definitely be blood if it was inside the body. Please? We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. What if the wound was from the spear instead? Then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it.
Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now? Now I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Oh! The teeth. Oh. That was great.
Prosecutor Blackquill, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means?
It is as Cykes Dono suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime, all of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great. We'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? Yeah, that's a good idea. I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. Turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led to her to question him at length the day of the killing, right there on that stage. The result, the heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. Seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. But that scrap of paper with Hughes's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but it like as not the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constance Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. Well, how convenient.
To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds a defendant, Juniper Woods, not guilty.
Hooray! Thanks, Gumshoe. We did it.
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference. Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
Huh. Thank you, Athena. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of the case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You looked pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Athena when she was in a bind, and at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. Oh, I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why, until that day, I'll... Oh, it's Trucy. Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So, what's the big news? The school festival. It was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but... We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? All right. Hell yeah, anime! Oh Jesus, I thought that was Lemira for a second. That's totally supposed to be her.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the guitar serenade.
This better not get me copyright struck. Nah. Oh, thank God. Okay, no risk. I kinda wanted to hear it, though. Wow, that was so much fun! School festivals are amazing! Tee-hee-hee! I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Aw, your singing voice, Juniper. You could melt my H-E-A-R-T. Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and Hugh won? Level-headed lawyer, course genius, and a hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Heart. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? I hope not. How old is he again? He's 25? Yeah, 25, and she's... Oh, where is she? 18? Yeah, that's kinda towing the line of iffy. I don't know. There's something I've been wanting to say to you. Huh? Oh! Is he going to do what I think he is? Juniper? Can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been. Oh, thank God. Huh? Best friends? Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops. Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin, Miriam. Of course she's here. Me too? Miriam's got this tactical espionage action. She said it! She said it! Metal Gear! Stuff down to a science. I've been thinking. It's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth, and the end never justifies the means. Count me in. I wouldn't have it any other way. Snake noises. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet! And what about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Oh! Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Oh! Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word... No, come back! God damn it! Come on! Not even a crumb! And so, wait. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. What did she say? I missed it. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. That's what he said. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind? Well, between fate and discord, they're certainly keeping with the Greek theme. That's all Greek to me. Yeah, I guess I'll save. Here. Continue to the next episode? No, that'll be next time. But, well, I suppose we're more than halfway done. I guess I'll go look at Feeney again. How nostalgic. Yeah, that was a really good case. That was very fun. Aristomenes was a fun bad guy, but... God, his motivations were so weak. A spur-of-the-moment thing, but God, he must be a genius to come up with all of that on the fly? Like, what the hell? It was a spur-of-the-moment murder. Like, god damn. What the hell? Yeah, great assortment of characters, very interesting and well thought out plot, with a few gaping holes in them, like, why did no single student in the lecture hall not see that Means was gone from his stand in the balcony? Like, what seriously, what's going on with that? It makes no sense. So I will hold that against this case. I wonder if we can expect every bad guy in all the remaining cases to also have wild transformations. Like, I recall that the Bomb Squad man, I don't think he changed at all, but, what's his face had a Joker moment and got like a purple suit and green hair. Marlon Rhymes turned into the coolest pirate you've ever seen in your goddamn life. Like, great character design on that transformation. And then Aristomenes turned from a statue of a scholar or philosopher into a spear-toting Spartan. Even though that's Roman, I suppose. No, Spartan, Sparta, not Roman. You know what I mean. It's all Greek to me. Wait, did I make that joke before? Oh, I'm losing it. My point is, I'm wondering if we can expect the villains of the remaining 2 cases to also similarly have ridiculous transformations? If so, I'm kinda here for this. It's so ridiculous, but I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to learning a bit more about Apollo's buddy next time, but who knows, maybe they'll drag it out and I'll have to wait even more. Though it sounds like this friend is about to be the murder victim. Because Athena was saying that fate tore them apart, right? It's like, what the hell? And if so, why? It sounds like Apollo won't be seeking legal help for it. Like, the fabric between their friendship's gonna fray and all that. Like, surely Apollo would ask the Phoenix Wright to help him, or Athena, or anyone? I don't know. Something feels weird. I'm curious to see what's next, so I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Dual Destinies. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.